Hey guys, welcome back. So, being a little bit quiet, we have just come from Michael's room. He went in for surgery at 10:30 this morning and didn't come out till about, I think it was 8:30, 9 o'clock when the surgeon called. So, sorry about the noise. So we've just been able to go up. It is quite late, but they let us come up and see him. He's in quite a bit of pain, but doing really well. Doing really well, as good as can be expected. And we'll see what tomorrow brings.
A little bit more to do with our stoma bag, and give you a bit of a look how I have to deal with that now. Now I have a stoma bag. Show you what a stoma bag actually is and give you a rough idea on what you've got to go through. I did tape it. I've got to learn how to change it, the bag out completely, how to live with the bag in the way of emptying in your bag several times during the day, making sure that you basically don't have an accident. Soon, and you don't go to the bathroom like a normal person now. All comes out from basically your stomach. It's very painful around the actual stoma itself. It doesn't have any nerves, so you don't feel anything there. I have a nice big cut down the bottom of my stomach, which is basically across my pants line. Which is extremely painful at the moment, and extremely painful on my pelvic bone, which is probably giving me the most grief at all at the moment. But yep, that's where we're at. 7 days still in hospital. My operation was supposed to be around the 4-hour mark. This one wasn't so bad, being 9.5 hours. Everything went well in the surgery, so that was all good to hear. The biggest news that I had out of all of it was that my stoma bag can be transferred back down the track, so they can transform it back to normal, which was a very big issue in my own head, whether you're going to be living with a stoma bag the rest of my life or having another operation down the track where it all goes back to normal. So the good news in that sense, that down the track I will be having another operation, and we'll be able to go back to normal hopefully. Thing out in here, so I can get it back. There you go.
Yep.
Because, my fingers don't work to crash off.
Oh, okay. Once you've started to cut a little, then you can, yeah, if she's showing you that way, that's fine.
Sweet this morning. My eyes have gone bone.
Turn down the glasses.
Take it over the line. Oh, the shocker.
How often should he measure the stoma? Because you said it'll probably shrink a bit
Yeah.
with inflammation.
Usually a couple of times a week for the first 6 weeks, and then you'll find that you are cutting it to the same size all the, for the last 6, 7, 8 weeks. It's pretty much settled to that size. So yeah, rather than, you could even have a couple of these ready cut out, but maybe, like I say, a couple of times a week before you do the cutting out and preparing the seal, take the bag off, grab your template and line it up against your stoma. Okay,
And
just
make sure
check.
it's not a massive.
Yeah, you want it to be as close as you can without it being too tight.
Right.
Okay, and so any good skin on show is going to get irritated by the corrosive nature of the output from your small bowel. Okay, so usually a couple of times a week is good just to check the sizing. Yeah, if you've already cut one out and you think, oh shucks, you just need to make sure for that particular bag change you make that a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
And then you're actually protecting the skin with the seal for that occasion that you have already cut it out and you don't want to waste it, and it's not that much difference.
Yeah.
So she was warming it up like that.
Yeah.
It's not just like Play-Doh, it just pulls out, doesn't
it
it?
is.
It's like a glue.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want it to. Oh, you do you. I just thought it's easier to pull it out with a little bit of force than make it too warm, and then you stretch it too far, which you wouldn't want.
No, but it molds back. It's like Play-Doh.
It's pretty forgiving. It's quite forgiving. So
Well, she said if you break it, it'll
just
go back on there anyway.
you can just reattach and
Reattach it, yeah.
So you might want to take the backing off.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of dangle it from your finger. Yeah. And then you want to peel off the backing.
That bit.
So if you separate from the white edge, if you go to the white, that's it.
I had to think then.
Give it a good pull. And then you can even fold those little bits of white tape over.
I thought I missed the part.
That's all right. Look, sometimes I do it that way around, and you'll soon get to grips with what flows for you.
Did you leave the white tape on yesterday? Is that why it peeled?
No.
There we go. Lovely. You're doing a good cut there.
Now we'll go back to the
Arts and crafts.
the broken donut. Destroyed it now.
It's alright, it's forgiving, remember?
It's gonna have to be this time. It's really not crash on.
And it is only a very slim seal.
How's that?
Perfect.
Doesn't look too crash on.
Like I say, when it's on and against the skin, it will be fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and you have done a perfect job, but what you can do as well is you can
Look back
have a little look through the window just to see if there's any areas that you need to stretch it, but it's absolutely spot on.
I sort of figured if you got it and you sort of mould it just over the edge of
And
it,
just feel,
and you can feel it. Yeah.
That's good. Sorry. Just be careful you don't do that.
Oh, now you
like
broke it on
I
me.
did. Alright, it's all on camera too.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so there's your bluey. I'll put that across your lap. Now there might be a little gadget in here.
Yeah,
Do you want to use
hold
that?
your
Yeah.
gown or shirt or whatever up at the time.
Oh,
It's in there somewhere. She had it, unless she's taken it with her.
yeah. There we go. If it's too long, you can just tie a knot in the back.
Yeah.
But you're quite tall, so I think that might be alright for you.
Yeah.
And then just find a little bit of, you can find it underneath or, if you go like that,
Yeah.
and then pinch, and then that way round.
Yeah.
inch. There you go. You've got a good area there so that the gown is not falling. Now if you had a bit more and you'd empty it first, but I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you how you do this, but I sometimes suggest just get your rubbish bag, and then when you peel that off, it's all ready to go in. So just recap on that we've got everything: remover wipes, wet and dry cloths, and our bag's all ready to go.
Yeah.
There you go. You might want to, you know, obviously pick a suitable time to do this change. So maybe not immediately after a meal. Usually first thing in the morning is a good time, because you've not had food. It's the catalyst to then make this work. Yeah.
Just a bit less mess, I guess.
Yeah. So just find a little edge and then just drizzle that underneath.
Under them.
Are you finding a little edge there?
Yeah, on the edge of it.
So you want it to go under your skin.
Yeah, then I can peel it back.
Yeah.
Sort of, I did it right on the top so I can
Did
peel
you?
it. Yeah. Maybe I stuck it down too good yesterday.
Well,
I held it for a long time.
look, that's what we want ideally. Yeah, you don't know what would have happened yesterday when we've had such a good run. These things do happen, and I'm glad that
That's
you
why
were
I
here.
wasn't worried about it. I just said, well, it was bound to happen sooner or later, and the doctor jinxed me with it, so it was bound to happen sooner than later.
Oh.
Well, at least
Where
it
is
happened
that?
here too,
Where is
so...
that doctor? I'll have a word with him.
Yeah.
Don't jinx my patients.
He didn't deal with me this morning. The other one did.
He ran
He
away.
was in there talking to
Oh my goodness.
next door.
Do you want to try another?
Still
You
good.
doing all right? Yeah, good.
Now that you've started peeling it and you've actually got the lip open, you might be able to just drizzle it into there instead of having to wipe.
I'll give you a helping hand there. There you go. There's your spout.
Surprising how much juice there is in
There
it.
is, and yeah, I think if you take it out straight away, you don't get as much solution. But
They
I
dry
like
up very
they
quick,
do,
yeah.
they do. But I liked how you did that then, how you drizzled it and then took it out. So I do find that you get a bit more bang for your buck if
Yeah.
you do a mix of drizzle and wiping.
Yeah, all good.
That's great.
I'm not so worried about getting in there, just more of the process that he's using, you can see. I think he's doing really well though.
And each day will be quicker, you know.
Yeah.
Not that there's any rush, but each day will get a bit quicker.
I think I
think it's
stuck this
just
down really good today.
Wonderful.
And it's looking a lot less swollen today than it was the other day.
Good. So you can see the seal's done its job. I feel like there's a little bit of moisture coming in at the side there. But
Yeah.
we'll check it out again tomorrow. It looks like it's come in from the side rather than, because there's a, see how there's a wet
Colour.
moisture? Yeah, but then there's actually a beige area
Yeah.
there. So we'll keep an
I
eye
got
on,
it really
we'll
wet
keep
in
an
the
eye on
shower
that.
yesterday.
Maybe,
Like after.
yeah.
Let it all gone to crap.
So I'll be your tag holder, and then just use as many of the wipes as you need. Okay.
Spiral out like.
You're alright. Okay.
Once you get a feel for it, you probably wouldn't even have to really look at it anyway.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to do.
If you
just
want to do
get
it
the
in the
feel.
shower or whatever feels good for you.
Plus too, I think it might be a bit harder to clean now because you've got those stitches to try and keep clean as well.
Yeah.
Whereas
So
when it's healed, it might not be.
it definitely won't. Those stitches will have dissolved. Yeah, so I think you're doing a great job there. The stitches do just take a little bit of time to dissolve.
How long would you be looking at before the stitches would be dissolved?
That can take about 6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
once
same
everything's-
time we're sort of looking
How's
at.
that?
Yeah. You will, I mean, yeah, looks great. Now, you can't see it particularly from your side, but you've got what we call a loop ileostomy. So there's actually 2 holes.
Yeah.
So one's more well spouted, which is the active one,
Yeah.
and there is another little one just tucked underneath here. So when you are putting the bag on, we do have to make sure that you are not covering that little area there. That's why some people can have leaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you've got enough clearance. And if
Yeah.
we use our template as our guide, that size there is pretty good still. In fact, it's spot on.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that allows you not to cover any of that bottom edge. And that bottom edge there. We don't want to be covering any of that what we call mucosa or the stoma
Yeah.
over.
So for him to
Alright.
line it up because of those
And
where
draw
the openings are, he'd be better off to sort of sit it on the top. So if it's going to sit somewhere, it'd be a bit tighter on the top and have
Yeah.
that little bit of clearance at the
That's
bottom.
right. Or else you can, if you stand in front of the mirror, you could even have a little look through to
Oh,
see.
right, yeah.
Sometimes it can be a bit cloudy, but definitely these pouches are quite visible.
Yeah.
To be able to line it up.
Yeah.
But even a real good bend will allow you to find the base of the
Find it,
stoma.
yeah.
Yeah. But whatever works for you, you just don't want to go too high, and cover that base
That's
area.
the part that I can't see.
Yeah,
To do.
so maybe create that C shape. So you're kind of using your fingers, your pointy fingers and your thumbs to bend. And I think you're good there. Yep. Yep. Flick that over. Just make sure that the tape edge doesn't crease. Okay.
Do you want to open up that bag, the flap, and that way you'll be able to see?
It is a bit tricky to see, but I think that we've got a bit of good skin there and we are fine.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So you just want to smooth down the taped edge first before you do the warming, because you want to make sure that you are actually sticking it to your body and not maybe the
Just
bluey.
take the white ones off.
So yeah, just place that to your skin and then take one tape off at a time. So as you take the tape off, start to smooth that down.
So it doesn't crease.
Yeah, if you smooth it actually directly on the tape, and then walk your fingers round underneath and smooth that down, and then you can feel underneath there if you are actually going to be sticking it to the bluey, and then
Yep.
take the tape off.
Well, I could keep the bluey as well. Did I really want
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, I have to say. So just smooth that, warm your fingers there.
Nice big crease on this one.
You might find it might be easier if you're standing because you'll be more stretched out here.
I've got a lot more creases on this side.
You're alright, and that crease, that taped edge can actually. Oh, you're alright. I think what all I would do there is just smooth them out.
Smooth them out, yeah.
Just even if
There's
it
one
stays
there
a little
too.
creased.
Down the bottom there.
Okay, yep, and just smooth them from the inside out, inside out. And yeah, there's a little ripple, but it's not too puckered there at all. And that's why instead of putting your hand over initially, if you're using your fingertips literally directly to the tape,
Yeah.
you're able to smooth them all out,
Yep.
creating as little a crease as possible.
Yep.
And I even press around that area there, because even that's the sticky part too,
Yeah.
that we just concentrate on the edges. Yeah, we need that seal to stick where it's
Yeah.
needed the most.
Well, it came off everywhere, like the whole way across the top. The whole thing just peeled back out.
Had it been overly active or anything, or nothing different?
No.
Very
It
strange.
was just, I think I didn't hold it long enough and get
Okay.
it warm enough.
Usually 30 seconds is enough.
I held it for a bit, but obviously it
yeah.
wasn't enough.
Okay, but I think we've done a good check of the edges there, good round the middle, and when you've done your 30 seconds, you can.
I should have done that first. That's how she's taught me to do that first,
Yeah.
and I just looked at
Okay.
it then and went, I didn't do that.
That's all right. Don't worry. If it was churning away, I always keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
What I do like to suggest
Yeah,
is
pinch it.
pinch it. Yep. Give it a little score there, so that allows you to open it a little bit better.
Is that what didn't
nurses-
happen yesterday?
Yeah,
Because it was so hard to get
It almost
open.
sucks.
Yeah, I had to sort of slide it when I was
Yeah.
helping him, and he was doing the same, and I was like, every time you pinched it, the whole thing would bend like a little curve.
It's so frustrating. But yeah, do that little bend, and then you've created that bounce already for the
Yeah.
opening.
Yeah, the nurse didn't do it yesterday, so it was a bit awkward afterwards.
Yeah. And you'll find your own angle that's good for you, whether it's straight down, whether it's a little bit.
But yeah, I know. I just went off to the side
you,
that time.
You're all right. You're all right. Again, I didn't want to put you off and just say anything, but you'll
Yeah.
get your own little way of doing things and find that whatever angle is going to be good for you to empty into the toilet as well. But that was
It'll work
that was
this time.
perfect. That was good. It will.
Next
it
time
will.
we'll straighten it out. Like I didn't want it that way, but
That's really
at the end of the day,
really
it's,
good.
I was worried about getting it on properly.
Well, you know, it's a good pouch. It has been suitable for you so far.
Yeah.
One little blip. Your stoma's got a nice spout to it, so I can't see any reason why we would have any long-term problems with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, good.
All right.
So I'm hoping no long-term problems.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Thinking a once-off.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
blame
it.
that doctor.
I do blame that doctor.
Blame that doctor. I will give you that for your hands.
Yep.
And wonderful.
Here we are, Thursday the 26th. So we've been down here for about 2.5 weeks now in Brisbane, getting this operation done. And we're finally heading home. So we'll see you guys at the airport next. So here we are, a few weeks after our surgery treatment, and we were told that the margin of when they did the operation to cut the cyst out, they leave a margin around your cyst and cut, so they try and get as much as possible.
We weren't able to go too far with that due to the fact that it was right on my spine. So we did as much as they possibly could. And I'm back on chemo for another 2 months, which will then max me out on that type of chemo. I have been maxed out on my radiation as well, so I can't have any more of that from what I've been told. But yeah, this is day 1 of my chemo once again. So I have roughly 4 cycles in the 2-month period. Then hopefully everything goes well and it'll just be checkups all the time from that point on. But we'll let you know a little bit more as we go through and see how we go with things.